It's Our Story. Krista Westendorp, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
When Aaron was about a year old, he had been sick a lot with pneumonias, hospitalized a few times, and pretty much wouldn't survive without the placement of a trach because he needed a way to clear secretions from his airway. And at that time, the doctors really didn't want to do the trach again because of the extent of his disability. And there was a care conference at the hospital in the small town we lived in. And it was after Aaron had stopped breathing at home and the ambulance had come and he had almost died. And I said to the doctor, could we get some oxygen out to the house? And he had a sandwich in his hand. And he looked at me, took a big bite of his sandwich, and he said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, because he almost died last week, and we're worried about the time it takes for the ambulance to get there and so on." And he just looked at us and was kind of exasperated and said, "Well, you know, he is going to die sometime." And that was such a shock to me because I thought, well, it's our job to support him in what he needs, and oxygen is no extraordinary measure. So, you know, what's the deal? It was creepy because we're talking about this child who is the love of our lives, and this guy with a sandwich decides it's not worth getting him a inexpensive tank of oxygen. But yeah, we got the oxygen, and after that, Aaron did get a trach, and he was able to stay healthier, breathe better, and we decided to move to Minneapolis from northern Minnesota at that time because when he had medical needs, they were pretty urgent, and there wasn't medical care up there. But we still used the medical model at home, and we had nurses coming in 16 hours a day still, and we started to notice that Aaron's life was way more medical than the rest of our lives. And it wasn't because he actually needed to live with this schedule of medications and treatments and that sort of thing. It was because the nurses who were caring for him were trained to do things by schedule, and schedule was always the best way for them to organize their day. So basically, Aaron was living at home, and his life was being organized for someone's work, for somebody's work day, instead of the nurses coming in to support his way of living as a toddler.
The It's Our Story project is a national effort to make disability history public and accessible. Visit us at www.itsourstory.org or on the It's Our Story project YouTube channel.